What's Crack-A-Lackin? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Today's episode is going to be my tight end top 20 rankings. We're not going to dive that deep. Remember, guys, two teams are on a bye, so the Vikings, TJ Hawkinson, the Texans, Dalton Schultz. Get them out of your lineups. And if you guys have any questions about deeper tight ends, like I'm not going to go through the top 30 because, 12-man, 14-man leagues, you don't really need to. But you can drop them in the comments as well if you have any other, questions. And any other questions, period, you can drop in there as well. Now, in this video, guys, this is, if you want to see the stats, check out my start, sit 'em, tight end video. That's where I drop all the stats, defensively, everything you need. This is more personality-based, game script-based, injury-based, because there's so many injuries happening, and how I think the games are going to go. Before we dive into it, guys, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up. Reach down the little corner right there, hit that subscription button. Helps me out a ton. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support already. And make sure you have that bell on. I'll be live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, the first start sit show of week 6. Bring all your questions in there as well. It's going to be a fun one there. If you guys haven't checked out the Guys FF Discord, it's pinned in the comments and in the description of the video as my dog is going nuts. And we're going to drop our Pick'em tickets in there as well tonight for the Thursday night game here on drafters.com. Make sure you sign up using promo code SLEAZE. It will double your initial deposit up to $100. And let's dive into my tight end top 20 rankings for week 6. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my tight end board. Baller tier at the top, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 is what we'll go through to the top 20 here. In the camera below, you'll see Brock Bowers. I don't think he's going to play. They said week to week. And Michael Mayer is going to step in this week. I'm still not going to put Michael Mayer in the top 20 right now with how Geno Smith is playing. Could the volume be there? Yes. Could he be a nice tight end 2 dart throw play? For sure. I just don't trust Geno right now. George Kittle, week 7, looks like his return, and Britton Strange ends up on IR, almost season ending, so 10-week looking injury for him. And up here in the top corner, make sure TJ Hawkinson and Dalton Schultz are out of your lineups. They are on a bye this week, guys. Now, number 1, Fergalicious Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is absolutely destroying fantasy football. I tried to tell you guys before the season, even with CeeDee Lamb out there, like people will be like, oh my God, CeeDee Lamb's been out. That's why Jake Ferguson is taking off. He still had 12 targets when CeeDee Lamb was out there either way. He's had 16, 21, 17, 23 points. You get the Carolina Panthers. They are second worst versus the tight end, and that's off the top of my head. They are going to have a shootout smash game here. Jake Ferguson is my easy tight end 1 this week, due for another 17 to 20 point game here, and the volume he's getting is out of control. Number 2, Tyler Warren, and we may be looking at, guys, 3 years straight of rookie tight end 1s, which is absolutely bonkers. That would be Sam Laporta. That would be, I'm blanking right now, Tyler Warren. It could be this year. And who was last year? Brock Bowers. Sorry, Jesus, blanking because he's out. I wasn't thinking about it. Now, this guy gets rushing touchdowns. He will get passing attempts. He is absolutely feasting. You get the Arizona Cardinals. They struggle heavily versus the tight end. Tyler Warren should never be out of your lineup for here for the rest of the next 7 years. At this point, this man is an absolute stud, and this is who the Chicago Bears should have drafted at number 10. And I'm going to own that because I've been saying that for so goddamn long. It's crazy. Number 3, man, Trey McBride. And he was my tight end 1 on the year. And Kyler Murray, you had Jacoby Brissett taking snaps today. We don't know if Kyler's going to play or not, but maybe it helps Trey McBride if Jacoby Brissett's out there, because this man looks so good at beating zones, beating man. Watch the game tape. He is absolutely destroying, and they just can't get him the goddamn football. So I've dropped him down to tight end 3, but I really want to put him at tight end 1 because I firmly believe he's the best tight end in football, but the production just hasn't been there. Number 4, Tucker Kraft. You get the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Flacco at the helm. The Bengals cannot stop anything. The wide receiver, the tight end, the running back. Shootout game underway here, possibly, if Joe Flacco can keep him in the game versus that Packers defense off a bye. I don't know if I like that, but Tucker Kraft has entered the realm, or if he hasn't already, he's entered the realm of a must-start tight end weekly. He is an absolute athletic specimen, and with all the wide receivers that the defense have to worry about, he's going to be running free, and a linebacker cannot keep up with this guy. Number 5, Hunter Henry. This is my call of the week here. Drake May security blanket is going to pop off and go absolutely nuclear versus the New Orleans Saints, who struggle the most on defense versus the tight end. Stephon Diggs has been his new favorite target, which I called last week for his revenge game as a must-start player. This is going to be Hunter Henry week. He finds the end zone in this game, and him and Drake May have a monster performance versus the New Orleans Saints this week. Number 6, and we got a double here in the top 20. So Harold Fannin Jr. is going to come in at number 17. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this matchup here, you got Dylan Gabriel who stepped in at quarterback, and you literally saw the wide receivers just go kaput, literally. I don't know how to use that word in a long time, but David Njoku back to tight end 1, getting the volume that he is part of the team. Harold Fannin getting the touchdowns. Why? Because rookie quarterbacks playing in their first game or first season usually tend to lean on their security blankets. And these guys are both out there at 80% snap share apiece. I mean, they're lining Fannin up in the backfield, in the slot, inline, tight end out, wide receiver 2. It's wild. So both these guys are going to be, in my top 20. Obviously, I like Njoku better because he looks like more of the focal point of Gabriel for now. And I like them to smash because Pittsburgh really struggles versus the tight end. Number 7, the old man who got a touchdown last week on a pick call that should have been called back. But the Detroit Lions, man, you're going to have a shootout game here. Travis Kelce is probably going to find the end zone again here. I know I haven't been high on him. I think he looks a little bit slower than he usually is. Obviously, Father Time's caught up. He's one of the greatest tight ends of all time, if not the greatest tight end. And one more week till Rashee Rice is back. So this is going to be like Travis Kelce's last volume big game here because I firmly believe that Rashee Rice is going to be the number 1 target on this team. And this is going to be a 52.5 over-under, I believe, game. And this is what you want is points. And Travis Kelce is going to be a nice play this week. Number 8, my dark horse tight end 1 that has not paid off because of injuries, man. He goes down in week 1 with the calf, and he has week 3 with the back. And he hasn't really been playing the Evan Ingram snaps of 80-90% like he normally does. And this matchup is absolutely beautiful versus the New York Jets. The Jets struggle versus the tight end heavily. He's becoming the red zone look. Him and Cortland Sutton, you saw his targets go up, but his snap share is still not up. I want to see it get up enough, but I still like Ingram as a start just because the matchup is so great. Number 9, he just keeps scoring touchdowns and he keeps balling out, but he doesn't play a lot of snaps in the same kind of situation as like Evan Ingram. Like when you look at Dalton Kincaid, yeah, the game script was different last week because they didn't blow him out, right? For the first time, the Bills got the loss and they didn't, have him play 50% of snaps. So this is his season right now, and he's tight end 2 on the year overall, which is crazy to think about, right? So he's played 51, 48, 55, 37, 54. Guys, Mason Taylor's playing 85% of the snaps. Dalton Kincaid is not out there enough to keep this production up, but it's still working. You're going up against the Atlanta Falcons. They're number 1 versus the tight end. This is a very tough matchup for Dalton Kincaid. So, yeah, I mean, if you got to throw him out there because he's hot, but you got to also temper your expectations because it's a tough matchup. Number 10, the game I can't wait for. The Chicago Bears versus the Commanders Monday Night Football. Zach Ertz coming off a goose egg. I think it's like the first time he has a recorded catch, and I forget the tweet that I saw. Godly amount of time. He's going to get back involved here. The Bears struggle versus the tight end. We don't know if Terry McLaurin is going to be out there. This is going to be a shootout game, which is what you want, like the Travis Kelce I talked about. It's 50.5 over-under, I believe. And I think it's going to go over 60, man. I think this is going to be a high-flying game on Monday Night Football. And Zach Ertz, I'm still starting with confidence at tight end. Number 11, the sleeper play, Jake Tunges, man. So you saw 11 targets last week, and you know that Ricky Pearsall is already out for week 6. We don't know if Juan Jennings is going to be out there. You have pretty much CMC and Kendrick Bourne. So Tunges is still going to probably see 8 to 10 targets against Tampa Bay. Their linebackers and secondaries are beat up right now as well, too. And you saw the connection with Mac Jones, who looks like he's going to play quarterback. So if you need a dart throw play here, I like Tunges a lot this week. I have him at tight end 11. Tight end 12, Darren the Waller, Rap God Baller, who's come out with 3 touchdowns in 2 games, absolutely lit up last week as well again. And with Tyreek Hill out, he's going to get more volume and more volume. But you have the Kansas City Chiefs this week, or not the Kansas Chiefs, sorry, the Los Angeles Chargers. They're a very good defense versus the tight end. So, yeah, Waller's their 6'6" red zone threat with a bunch of tiny wide receivers. I get that. But I'm just tempering my expectations here this week in a tough matchup versus the Chargers. And the Chargers are coming off 2 losses, man. They're going to come out guns blazing here. Number 13, Sam Laporta had his big week, and I am not one of those guys that content creators, however you want to put it, that sees a guy have a big week, and I'm like, oh my God, you need to start him again. I like the matchups. I like to dive into it, and I know he had 20 points versus the Bengals, but everyone destroys the Bengals, man. This is what football is this year. Now you get the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the #1 defense versus the tight end. You know Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator. This is what they do, is take away the tight end. This is going to be a very, very tough matchup for Sam Laporta, even in a shootout game. I do not like him. Spags is an absolute mastermind at covering the middle of the field, and it's a very, very tough matchup, and I do not like Sam Laporta that much this week. Number 14, the volume guy, Mason Taylor. So he's emerging, and he's not just emerging as the tight end. He's emerging as their number 2 wide receiver, pretty much. You could put it that way. Shout out to Big Draft Energy on that tweet. He's playing, look at the snaps. Remember when I talk about Evan Ingram and Dalton Kincaid, right? They're playing 40 to 50. This is him since week 1. 88, 72, 74, 81, 84. That's the kind of volume you want. Opportunity leads to volume. Volume leads to points. It's a tough matchup versus Denver. He's riding hot right now with, back 12 targets last week, 6 targets the week before. That's 25 targets in 3 weeks. That's 8 targets a game, almost 8.3. This is very, very high volume. I just don't like the matchup here for the Jets this week. Number 15, Kyle Pitts going up against the Buffalo Bills, who are like the Kansas City Chiefs versus the tight end position. Very, very good. They are number 2. And this game, when you're looking at Kyle Pitts and Dalton Kincaid, both these defenses, so Falcons are number 1 versus the tight end, and they had a bye, so look, take the points down. Bills are number 2. I said the Chiefs are number 1. The Chiefs are number 3, but the Chiefs really do have the least yards without the bye allowed. So if you want to throw that in there. And it's just going to be a tough matchup for Kyle Pitts and Kincaid this week, but Kincaid's been hotter, so I have him higher. Number 16, and everyone's going to be thinking it's Theo Johnson week because he popped last week, and he's got 3 touchdowns in a row, or 3 touchdowns in 2 games with Jackson Dart, and he's coming off a 21-point game with 7 targets, 6 receptions, and 2 teeters. But guess what? You're playing the Philadelphia Eagles, who are top 5 versus the tight end. So think about it like this. Falcons, Bills, Chiefs, Eagles, and Chargers. Top 5 versus tight end. All that I talked about in this video, matchups matter. Theo Johnson, I know that you have no neighbors. I know that you have no Slayton. You're going to think the volume goes up. This is a very, very good defense versus the tight end, so I have Theo Johnson a lot lower this week than most. Harold Fan is number 17. Number 18, Mark Andrews. And this one's really scary. I don't think I'm starting Mark Andrews, but I'm putting him in my top 20. You got to look at it like there's a lot of trade rumors around him. Are they just going to, phase him out kind of like Alvin Kamara last week, who was kind of phased out, which you could tell they're kind of trade baiting it like that. You got Cooper Rush. They have a bye coming. They're probably going to make Isaiah Likely their tight end if they move him. So a lot of scary things with Mark Andrews and with the quarterback situation. I'm not starting him versus the Rams. Number 19, and I don't know if I trust it yet, but he's starting to earn it. A.J. Barner, back-to-back 80+% snap games. He's taken the job from Elijah Arroyo, becoming a trusted red zone target for, Sam Darnold. But it's just like not sexy. I don't feel like it's startable. Jacksonville is still top 15 versus the tight end. Does he do it again? He could. I mean, he looks great. I just don't feel comfortable doing it. And number 20 is Dallas Goedert. And the New York Giants are also another team that's very good versus the tight end, but I don't think it's a game script where Goddard's going to find the end zone again, right? So you got the narrative of the Saquon Barkley revenge game. You've got A.J. Brown pissed off. You've got Devonta going off. And Goddard scored in 3 straight games with 4 touchdowns. I just don't see it happening on Thursday Night Football here. Could it? I just don't like chasing a bad game script game, which I think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to need to pass much in Philly in this game. And you've seen how they've won games before, right? The game they lose, they throw for 40 passes. The games they win, they throw for 19. So I don't like the volume play here for Goddard. He could find the end zone. He's hot. People are probably going to start him because of it, but I think you're looking at a 5-6 point game for him here if he doesn't find the end zone again. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my top 20 tight end rankings for week 6. I got all the rankings out for you guys. My wide receiver, running back, quarterback, kicker, and defense rankings are out. So if you guys want to check those out, those are up as well. That's it for me today. I'll be live 6 p.m. Eastern start sit show heading into Thursday Night Football. Then we'll have Big Draft Energy show right after mine. So you get 2 hours back to back of us answering whatever you guys need this week to help you guys dominate. If you guys haven't already and you're new in here, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscription button in the bottom corner over here. Helps me out a ton. Turn that bell on so you know all my videos and when I'm live. If you guys haven't checked out the Guys FF Discord or drafters.com and signed up using promo code SLEAZE, I will pin it in the comments below. I'll be live Friday doing some splash draft, DFS drafts, everything like that on Drafters as well, guys. And that is it for me today. If you have any questions as well, drop them in the comments if you can't make the live show. I got all the rankings out. I'll see you guys at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. That is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Sleaze Bomb out.